Welcome to the Ignorant Thinker podcast. It's your boy Dennis Holmes. How y'all doing? As we all know, Ezekiel Elliott got his money. 90 million, 50 million guaranteed for 6 years. Congratulations. I think everybody deserved their money, so congratulations. We all know Jadeveon Clowney held out for as long as he could, got a trade to the Seattle Seahawks, and got his money. Congratulations to him. And the Houston Texans went and upgraded their offensive line and their wide receiving core by giving them 2 first-round picks in the second. Now, I don't think they should have gave up that much. But next year in the draft, you was going to use that first-round pick for a left tackle. Why not get one that's already proven? I understand that, but not 2 of them, though. That's the only thing I'm saying. And we already knew Miami was trying to get rid of Kenny Stills because of him and the owner situation. We already knew that already. But I feel as though the Houston Texans should have had a better GM. If they had a better GM, they could have made this move earlier and got more from it. And, it would have been better for them. But the fact that they didn't have a GM and their coach is their GM, this is the results that you get. GMs are always needed, is what I'm telling you. Just look at Howie Roseman, if you don't believe me. But besides that, the Miami Dolphins now looking like they're going to be tanking for the rest of the season. So they could get, the best first-round pick possible. So I see how that's going. I also see that the Houston Texans are trying to win now. But it didn't look like they fixed the back half of that defense, and they just lost the all-pro defensive lineman. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe they're just looking to see if they could help get Deshaun Watson some more time so that way they can put up more points. The more points, easier it is to play defense. I can understand that. Hopefully everything work out for the Houston Texans. But the GM that made the best move out of all of this is the Seattle Seahawks GM. Earlier this season, they had a chance to make Frank Clark a franchise tag, which would have paid him almost $17.5 million for just 1 year. So they said, nah, we're not doing that. We're going to trade him. They traded him to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs took him. I forgot for exactly what pick it was, but I think it was a second-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. They took him for that. Seattle Seahawks went out and got Iggy Azalea, and after they got Iggy Azalea, they also went out and they paid Iggy Azalea $8 million. Fast forward to now, they just got Jadeveon Clowney for $9 million. So the 17 that they was going to pay Frank Clark, they just got 2 stud defensive linemen for that same $17 million. They was going to pay for 1 All-Pro. They just got for 2 All-Pros. That's just to let you know how GMs work. If you got a good GM, this is exactly what happens. Now, I've been doing fantasy all week. I'm about fantasyed out. I ain't doing no more drafts. I think I'm in about 8 fantasy drafts. 4 of them is worth a pot of gold. The other 4 was just mock drafts that felt good for me. And in every draft I was in, and I'm telling you this truthfully, every draft I was in, a quarterback went in the first round. Most of the time it was Patrick Mahomes. But one time, just one time, it was Russell Wilson, went 3rd overall pick. So that's just to let you know exactly where people's mindset is when it comes to fantasy football. Now, today is Wednesday, and, me and my partner, we do a Wild Wednesday, which will be shown a little later on today. But for right now, I'm going to go with my what if for the week. And my what if for the week is about the Indianapolis Colts. What if Jacoby Brissett actually shows up and shows out and take the Colts to the playoffs? Do we just say Andrew Luck who? Or is Jacoby Brissett now the franchise quarterback? Because he just worked out his own deal without his own agent. He don't have no agent. So like I said, do we say Jacoby Brissett who? Do we say Andrew Luck who? Can Jacoby Brissett lead this team to a playoff? Because everything that he needs is there. Offensive line, running back, Well, actually, he got running backs by committee. So running backs, wide receivers are there. Defense got better. I mean, this team was Andrew Luck away from almost competing in the Super Bowl. But what if Jacoby Brissett is the one that can do it? Do you look back and you say, man, Jacoby Brissett was the better backup than Jimmy Garoppolo? Because you see the way he developed? Or do you look back and you say, Frank Reich can take is the greatest quarterback whisperer there is? What do you look back and do you say out of all that? Maybe even not be the greatest, but he's a quarterback whisperer. Let's just say that. When you look back at what do you say? That's what I want to know for my what if for the week and my question of the day. Thank y'all for y'all support. Ignorant Thinker Podcast.